Hi Paddy, welcome to the Brunel interviews. My name is Patrick.
And my name is Patrick.
And my name is also Patrick, so this isn't going to be confusing at all.
What's the story?
What do you make of the library here in Brunel? A good selection of books. Do you like books yourself?
Yeah, no, I do. I think it looks great. I think books are a great thing to have in any house. If you have them at home, you can always keep an eye on the books and they're like, oh yeah, that's something I read, or you can take it off again. I was actually a big fan of, growing up, Terry Pratchett. I've read all those books. I know this is probably isn't your classroom, but and maybe they're a wee bit old for your age, but they're a brilliant series. If you're into Game of Thrones or fantasy or Lord of the Rings or anything, Terry Pratchett wrote a series called Discworld, which I've read all those books and they're brilliant books. But anyway, I know you're not here to talk to me about books. Yeah. How are you boys? You're looking rested. Are you ready for the weekend now? Is that?
Yeah, I'm grand. I'm going to the Bows match now.
You're going to the Bows match?
Yeah, with him.
With one of the lads? Yeah. You football fan, Patrick? Not into it? Do you like the rugby? Bit of rugby? Alright. Do you get any Valentine's cards, lads?
Yeah.
Be honest.
Yeah.
Go on.
10.
10? 10 Valentine's cards?
And 3 off my ma.
So 13 in total. That's a good number.
Anyway.
Okay, Patrick, it's down to business. I like that. This is good. This is good interview. Go on,
Anyway,
Patrick.
so can you tell us a bit about your career and tell us about some of the different jobs you have done in the media world?
Sure. So, I started in the media 13 years ago, which is a long. What age are you?
11.
So I'm working in the media longer than you've been alive. But anyway, so you were born in 2007, were you?
Yeah.
Okay. So where did I begin? I began first of all in local radio and local newspapers, which a lot of people do. They start off in their local, doing stuff in the community. So I worked for the Leitrim Observer. I'm from a county called Leitrim.
That was he.
Yeah, that's how I know Mr. Howard. So ultimately, I would have grown up in Leitrim, and I ended up working for the Leitrim Observer on the newspaper, and the local radio was called Shannonside. Then I went to college, I did journalism, and I ended up working in a place called Today FM. Do you know Today FM? Have you ever heard of that radio station?
If you want to be a radio TV presenter, what
Go on, Patrick. Yeah.
I can't. I forget
What if you want to be a radio TV presenter? What?
Oh.
What do you need to do, is it, or what do you need?
What do you need to do? What college do you need to go to?
College. Well, you see, that's a good question, because the college I went to was actually called DCU, which is in. Anybody here? Well, let me see. You're all. This is North Dublin, isn't it? We're in. So is everybody here from the local area? Obviously, yeah. So what's the local area? What's this area called? I'm a bit out of my bearings.
Street.
Right, and then the area is, what is it?
What number?
Yeah, is it Dublin 7?
7.
Dublin 7.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's up in Dublin 9. I'd say DC's in Dublin 9. Anyway, so I studied journalism, and that was a good gateway into, basically getting into the media. I ended up doing a radio show with a guy called Matt Cooper, Current Affairs, and then I ended up going into RTE. I presented a show called News Today, which was like the kids' news on the Den.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
Yeah.
Okay. So 13 years ago, I started presenting that show. And I did it for 3 years. I worked in RTE in the newsroom presenting the kids' news for 3 years. And then after that, I ended up working in sport. I worked on 2FM, which is a radio station in RTE as well. And now I work in a place called Joe.ie. I don't know if you ever heard of Joe.ie. Okay. All right, well, Joe.ie is a website that is aimed for 18 to 35-year-old, mainly men. But it's basically got a very big following all across Ireland. Online, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Snapchat, all the social media. So that's where all of our audience are, and that's how we would talk to them. And my main job presenting-wise at the moment is I present a football show called The Football Spin, which is available on audio. Podcasting is going to be a really big thing for years to come. So I started in radio, and now I'm in a world that's called podcasting. Is that a good explanation,
Yeah.
Patrick? Other Patrick A.
Did anyone inspire you to become a radio or TV presenter?
I really liked Jerry Ryan growing up. Again, probably doesn't mean a lot to you, but he was a presenter on 2FM. He was very funny. He was very controversial at times. Do you know what that word controversial means? It means that somebody will say or do things that will cause people to have very different...
Panic.
Well, panic could be one thing. Some people will like it, some people won't. It will divide opinions. And in media, you actually need to, at times, you need to divide opinions. You need to get people to feel something. So I like Jerry Ryan. Other than that, I really liked, who else was inspiring me growing up? Well, you know, probably people that were in my community, my parents, you know, these are people I would have looked up to. And, you know, there was always somebody that you could look up to and think, yeah, well, they've done things well. But in media, I thought Jerry Ryan was great. Who else in presenting? There was a couple of TV presenters I quite liked. I really like Steve Coogan. I think he's a genius. He does a show called Alan Partridge. He's got a character called Alan Partridge. Some people might have heard of this guy. And that was somebody that I really liked as well.
Were you nervous doing your first radio interview?
No, well, Jesus, you know what? That's a very good question, Patrick. I'm not sure if I can remember my first radio interview.
Alright.
I remember one time I interviewed Ray Darcy, but it was for a project I was doing in college. I remember being a bit nervous for that, but I think with these things, the first time you do it, you have like good nerves, the kind of nerves you might have before you play a football match, or you do an exam. It's like it's there to get you ready. You might have heard of something called fight or flight. It means that you. What's that, Patrick?
I'm sorry.
So yeah, these are good nerves, but every time you do it the next time, it doesn't feel as big a deal, and then you just think of it as just your job.
Yeah. What age were you when you started on the radio?
Okay, when I was started on radio. See, I was in television before I was in radio. See, I was in television for 3 years, and then they realised that I have a face for the radio. Have you ever heard of that phrase?
No.
Means look, you're better heard than seen.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. And they moved me over to radio. So I was about 25 when I really got into radio, into FM.
You currently work for Joe.ie. Is that a fun place to work for?
It is actually. It's a great place to work. A lot of young people here that work in Joe. I'm the oldest. I'm very old, and in Joe I'm very, very old. Most of the people that work in Joe have just come out of college, so they're all in their early 20s, and they would be, they're all on social media. So we would have a lot of people visit the office. A lot of celebrities come to the office and visit us and
What's
do
the
interviews.
famous person that came to your office?
Famous people that have come to our office. Well, we've had football managers like Tim Sherwood, who managed Spurs and Aston Villa, would have come to our office. We would have had Eamon Dunphy's visit our office only in the last week. In terms of other footballers, Kevin Doyle. We've had Robbie Keane has come over, Damien Duff. They're just some of the footballers that will come over. In terms of movie people, we've had Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. Do you know those guys? They visited. We did an interview with them. So they're probably the most famous people that we've interviewed and had into Joe.
Okay.
When you were working for 2FM radio, have you had any interviews that have gone absolutely terribly bad?
Yes. Next question. Just joking, Patrick. Do you want me to tell you about that?
It's up to you.
It's up to me. Okay. So one time, so I had so there's a musician called Example. All right. Anybody ever heard of Example? Yeah.
Give us an example.
Give us an example. So he came in to be interviewed for on 2FM. We were at a festival called Oxygen, which again, have you heard of that festival?
Oxygen.
So it's a music festival, or was. It no longer exists. And Example came in, and I had a song title in my mind that he sings, which is his song is called "Love the Way You Kiss Me," right? And he has another song called "Kick Starts," all right? So I got confused as I was saying I said to him, oh, I really like that song of yours, Love the Way. And then I just kind of got confused and I said, It All Kick Starts. But then I was like, so I totally messed up 2 of his songs. And then I was like, he kind of looked at me, gave me a dirty look as if like, don't do that. And then I was like, I'm just kind of freestyling, like trying to make light of it. And he got very upset. And he said, don't ever make fun of my music.
Okay.
And I said, we were on live radio. So I thought he was joking. So I was like, I was laughing. And he was like, stop laughing. I'm not happy about this. And he got up and he walked out. So that can happen. He's upset, but he's also a bit of a, what's the word that I can use here? I can't think of a word. He's a drama queen. Yeah, very good. Thank you. He's a drama queen. I think that's a very good word. Okay. He's all right, that lad, for a Liverpool fan. Is he Liverpool?
No, Man United.
Man United.
Yeah.
Who was the most famous person you interviewed? Did you ever get a bit starstruck, or have you always been cool and calm?
Wahlberg and Ferrell were 2 big names. Like they were very interesting guys. So Will Ferrell would have been another one of my heroes growing up in terms of, like, I remember seeing Anchorman and just thinking it was the funniest movie. Anyone seen Anchorman?
I'm watching it.
Have you seen Anchorman?
I'm watching it.
Anger Man.
Probably shouldn't have seen it, but it's fine. Yeah, so Will Ferrell is the star of it. He is Anchorman. Mark Wahlberg, then, if you've ever heard of a film called Ted.
Yeah.
He's the star of Ted.
Ted.
So they're probably the most famous people that we've interviewed. We interviewed them last year.
Mr. Howard is from Leitrim, and so are you. He said it is a deadly place, so why are you living in Dublin if Leitrim is so great?
Oh, Patrick, some zingers in here, I have to say. That's a very good question.
You're welcome.
Why am I living? Do you know what happens is that, do you know what it is? We just love the Dubs so much that we want to be here amongst all the Dubs.
Yuck the Dubs!
And so we're drawn to Dublin just so we can live amongst you. And now we're like the Dubs as well. Like, we've got Dublin accents. Me and Mr. Howard have very Dublin accents. How are you? How are you going on?
But we're the best Dubs.
Oh, you're the best Dubs. All right, fair
We're
enough.
the real dogs.
Are you the real dogs? You don't go see Dublin, do you? And Hill 16 or any of that lark, do you?
No.
Nah, you're right.
Only go around Oliver Bond.
Oliver Bond, right, okay.
Right. If you weren't working,
Patrick, tell me.
if you weren't working in a media, which other job would you like to do?
What other job would I like to do? Whew.
Favourite one, that 33 Legion.
I was a teacher for a while.
Where?
Yeah. Yeah, I was a teacher. I taught national school and I taught secondary school. And I'll tell you something, it's a tough job. Having to deal with bowsies like yourself, you 2 boys.
What's a bowsy?
What's a bowsie?
A bounty.
Have you never heard the word? I thought bowsie was a Dublin word.
No, sir.
Have none of you heard the word bowsies? It means
To do with that one.
what's that? A mad joke. Yeah, exactly. A mad joke. A mad egg. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. There you go. So yeah, I think teacher. I think I might have ended up in a teacher as a teacher.
Go, Papa. It's your turn.
It's you. Oh, were you really excited when you got the blue tick on Twitter? Did you start getting free stuff off random people?
I was excited. Yeah, it was nice to get the blue tick on Twitter. Yeah. I got it when I was in 2FM.
Did all the Dublin people follow you?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's some Dubs in there. I tried to keep them, cordon them off on their own. The Dubs. Yup, the Dubs. So yeah, no, free stuff. You know something? In Joe, we get a lot of free stuff in.
What?
Yeah, we get a lot of free stuff in. So we get a lot of pizza.
For me? Oh, no. For you?
For us, yeah, we get a lot of pizza in. We get a lot of like burgers and chicken wings and donuts. We get a lot of donuts. I know. Head wreck.
Where is Joe's guy? Where is it?
Where's what?
Joe.ie.
Joe's.ie. Joe.ie is in a place called Black Pits.
Do the sign up, young fellas. That's 11.
Who? Anybody in particular you might have in mind?
Well,
Me.
Yourself? I don't know. We haven't done it before, but I think we should probably look at it. Yeah. What's your rate like? Are you expensive?
No, I just want the food.
Just so you'll work for pizza?
Yeah.
Well, I'd say my boss would love you.
And the donuts.
And the donuts.
okay, now we're going to do a rapid fire round of questions. Are you ready?
What's rapid fire?
Rapid fire. For cats or dogs?
Okay, yeah. Okay, so cats or dogs? I like them both, but I suppose I'd be controversial and say cats.
Man City or Liverpool
To win the league.
to win the league?
Oh, I think Man City will win the league easily.
Biscuit or cake?
These are hard. I like them both, but probably like cake.
Messi or Ronaldo?
Every day of the week, Messi, no doubt. Messi is the greatest of all time.
Winter or summer?
Summer, yeah, summer.
Rice or pasta?
Rice or pasta?
Rice or pasta? I like these lads. It's cutting to the chase here. Pasta.
North side or south side?
North side or south side?
South side.
North.
On north side, of course.
Yes.
Right, go. See you later. I'll finish.
Are you south side?
No. I don't know what side I am.
Homework or no homework?
Oh, it's Friday. No homework for sure.
Okay, last two questions. If one of us kids wanted to get
Okay.
into media, radio, TV, podcast, what advice would you give to us to help us with that goal?
Okay, well, the advice I would say to anybody who wants to get into media is you look at what's around you. Where is there media already? Like, is there local newspapers, local radio stations, local websites that you could contribute to? And then I would say is just be curious, be interested in the world. Like, because stories, that's what we do in the media. We tell stories. So we write stories, we tell other people's stories, but the first part of any storytelling is you need to be curious.
Yeah.
And don't yawn in interviews.
How did we get on today?
More than once. Go on.
How did we get on today? Can you give us some advice on how to do better interviews for the Brunner interview?
Oh, I thought you did brilliant. I don't know, like I thought, do you know, it's hard to improve on perfection. I thought it was very, very good. I liked your mix. This Patrick was kind of like a bit off the cuff, you know, he's coming off the script a few times and you're pulling it back in, like, you know, so like you got this guy who's kind of the joker and you're the kind of like the anchor man there, so I like it. It's good. It's a good combination of the two Patricks there.
Okay.
Yeah, a round of applause for the two boys there. Oh, we're not finished. Sorry, I thought that was the last question.
Thanks for your time and have a good day, Paddy. We really enjoyed having you here on Brunner Interviews. Will you share a video with your millions of followers?
Oh yeah, definitely. I really will. Yeah, 100%. Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick.